I have no experience about IT, anything. Just I would like to challenge. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else I missed? Anybody else want to go?
Hi, my name is Sai. I am from Merced, California. I recently trying to start a new career. Just now I finished my GED.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to try something to get this thing fixed. Yeah, okay. Is it working? Is it working? Yes, it's working. Perfect. I was trying to get the little subtitle thing to work. Finally did it. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. I'll speed through this. But as I'm going through, I don't want to make this into a lecture. So anything that I'm covering, if you guys have any questions related to it, you're more than welcome to interrupt me and ask away, and I'll try to address it at that point. We'll also reserve time for talking or to answer any additional questions that you guys may have at the end. So it's up to you on when you want to ask the questions. Um, Again, the orientation won't take that long. It's mainly you guys asking questions and me addressing them is what's going to take majority of this orientation's time. So we'll try to get this done by 9. If not, it may go over by 10 or 15 minutes overnight. Okay, Central Time. I know some of you guys are on the East Coast, some of you guys on the West Coast. Um, cool. Okay, so let's get started. So about us. I don't want you to think of Tech Files as a school or a place where you come to get a diploma. We're more of a like IT consulting or training organization. And we have multiple locations. We are headquartered in Brooklyn, New York, but we don't have a training facility there. We do have a training facility in the Philly, Pennsylvania area and the Dallas, Texas area. So if you're in those two areas, you're more than welcome to take the course in person, or you can take it remotely from anywhere in the country. And our goal is mainly to help you get a job. How do we mold you into a candidate that is desirable in the job market today? And to make into that candidate, we look at what the labor market is looking for today, and we primarily focus in the STEM area, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And we focus there because of the demand for jobs. When it comes to a job that's not STEM related, for every job out there, there's about 3.5 people applying. But when it comes to STEM related jobs, for every 2 jobs out there, there's only 1 person applying. And when you dig deeper into STEM, it's the technology area that's going the fastest. And you can wonder, well, who's hiring these IT professionals, right? Well, why are companies investing on technology? Um, the main reason is uh, just maybe 10, 15 years ago, the way we have our relationship with technology today is vastly different. It's a lot more intimate today. I mean, we interact with technology on a second by second basis. And companies want to be part of that intimacy. So either they want to build their brand or be able to monetize that relationship that you have with technology. So whether it's a company that's making computer chips or a company that's going to making potato chips, they're investing in technology some way or fashion. Um, Software is going to continue to be the future. Um, I mean, the way we manage our finance, communication, social networking, healthcare, entertainment, our home automation and safety, security, they're all kind of either already in the digital world or transitioning there. Okay. And again, companies want to be part of that because there's money to be made there or somehow to build their brand from it. All right. Now, when it comes to developing software, there are a lot of roles out there. We train on some of those roles. So we have training for data entry, for QA automation, which is going to be today's primary focus. We have training for, let me just get my pen ready, for DevOps. Okay. That's more intermediate level individuals, people who may have um, like a computer science degree or is tech savvy. And then we have Java development, which you can get training on. And that's one of our, I would say, one of our best courses for the output wise. It is the most challenging one. but it has the best reward. It's for more advanced level people, individuals who is very tech savvy and has good knowledge of IT and has the time to focus and study at it mainly. And then we have business analyst training as well. And we also do IT consulting, okay? Now today's focus is primarily gonna be on QA automation, right? So as we're going through this, that's what we're gonna talk about. If you wanna know more about our other programs, the DevOps orientations are on Wednesday, the business analyst orientations are on Tuesday nights, and for Java development, the best way to do it is to schedule a one-on-one with one of our instructors, and they'll assess you and advise you if the Java course is for you or not. Okay. And our other programs like the data entry is for more like beginners, people who have never touched a computer before and isn't isn't really doesn't really know how to use a computer. I want to learn how to use the basics of a computer. That's for those individuals. Okay. We also do certifications. Again, from what I've heard about you guys on this call, that's really not going to benefit you, the certification route. This is for more of our alumni, people who have already gotten a job through us and they want to enhance their skills, or they want to raise or move to a managerial position. They can take the certifications in order to progress in their career. Okay. Now let's talk about QA. So a quality assurance engineer or an automation engineer is somebody who is going to test the application. So somebody builds it, which is the developer. The developer makes the software, the feature, the app, the website, whatever you want to call it. And once it's been built, it just doesn't go into the hands of the people who are going to use it. Okay, it needs to, somebody needs to make sure that it works, that it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, and that person is the QA. The QA tests to make sure that there are no issues with it. Okay, there are no defects. And that, hey, this thing was built based on some kind of requirements, some kind of standards, okay? That it met the request of the individual who wants to build in a certain way. That's their job to ensure. And in doing so, they end up delivering a higher quality product, a product that's desirable, a product that somebody is happy with in using. So for example, let's say that everybody here probably uses Facebook, right? And if you're using Facebook and it crashes half the time, right? Let's say it becomes unresponsive half the time or slows down half the time. Something's wrong with it, right? And if it kept crashing half the time or stopped working half the time, you would not want to use Facebook. And Facebook doesn't want that because Facebook makes money from us, right, as its users. So Facebook makes sure that whenever they enhance their product or whenever they release a new feature or update it, somebody tests this thing before it goes into your hands. And in doing so, you're satisfied with the application, you're going to continue using the application, and Facebook will be making money from it in that way. Okay? Any questions on this, guys? On what the role of a QA is? I'm going to take that as a no. Okay. Now, most of you guys here are referrals, so I'm sure you know how much your friends are making. Some of you guys found us online, on the radio, and I'm sure you heard the ads, hey, you make $80, $90, $100, $110, $120,000 a year, right? And the obvious factor why positions in this field make so much money is, hey, by finding these issues, they're able to catch it earlier on, so they don't invest more time on it later, so they prevent financial losses that way. They make sure, hey, people who get their products are satisfied, so there's no negative reputation applied to it. They save time and resources by finding these issues earlier on versus later, right? Think about it like a car, right? Let's say Toyota started selling cars. They get a test driver to test that car to make sure it does what it's supposed to do, because if something's wrong with it, it's going to end up getting recalled, and that's going to cost Toyota more money. So same kind of rules apply to technology. You don't want to bring in technology, you don't want to recall your technology back and fix it while it was already being used by people, live, right? Those are the common reasons, but the main reason why people in this industry get paid a lot of money is the in-demand skill set that's lacking in the U.S. labor market today. Most individuals in the U.S., they pursue a degree in finance, in sociology and political science, or psychology. And I'm not trying to insult anybody on this call. I myself have a psychology degree, and those degrees are kind of useless. They're not what the American labor market is looking for. The American labor market is looking for individuals who are pursuing the STEM work, more high-skilled labor-oriented individuals. And because of that lack of that, companies are willing to pay and hash out a lot of money for these positions. Okay. Now, the training that you're going to take here, at worst case scenario, you'll make around $80,000. In best case scenario, well, not best case, I would say in the average scenario, you're making 100 to 110. And best case scenario, you could go up to $130,000, $140,000 a year. Okay. So since people don't pursue degrees in this field, this is where we're here to fill that gap. And our curriculum is created by people who work in the field today, who are interviewers, who look for candidates and interview candidates, and they create the curriculum based off that. So that you're going to study for one thing and one thing only, is how do I pass an interview? That's the major purpose of this course. Okay, not to get enlightened. Obviously, you're going to know how to learn a new skill set and do a new skill set, but all that revolves around, hey, how do I pass an interview? All right. We offer this course either in person or remotely. If you're in our Dallas facility area or Philly area, I'll recommend you take the course in person. We do, every all the classes that you take are live, and once you attend it, they get recorded so that it's available for you at any given time to rewatch it. Okay, so if you ever miss a class, or you had to leave early, or you came in late and you don't know what's going on, well, all the sessions get recorded, so you can rewatch that session at any given time. Okay, we've recorded every single class we've done since 2016. I would say this course is 80% practical and 20% theoretical. What that means is that it's not like textbook definition or terminology based. It's more like you need to practice. So the instructor is going to show you how to execute a function or how to do something, and you need to practice that and get that in your head, because that's what you're going to present in the interview. Okay. We're under the assumption that you know absolutely nothing. You're at zero. So we try to hold your hand as best as possible so that we can take you to 100. Once you're done with the course, we'll help you find a job. We'll help build your resume. We'll prep you with mock interviews so that you're able to probably nail a job. And once you do nail a job, that's not where our relationship ends. It doesn't end there. If there's any job support that's needed, we offer 24/7, no question asked, job support, free at cost. Okay, so as long as you were one of our students and you nail the job and you need help with your job, we're going to be there to help you. Okay, and the main reason is based on how our business model works, how TechFast's business model works. TechFast only gets paid when you're getting paid. Okay, and we'll talk about more of that when we come to the payment section. Any questions so far, guys?
No.
I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just said about the classes and taking it online or in the live in a person.
Is it the same?
So do you guys do during the weekdays? No, right?
No, it's only on the weekends.
So what, like if I'm working the weekends the whole day, would that recorded video would helpful?
So is it going to be helpful only to certain individuals? And what I mean is people who are very disciplined. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If it was me, based on my lifestyle today, I would not be able to watch the recording and do well in this course. Okay?
Right.
All right. So, but now I'm 35, I have 2 kids and a spouse and 2 cats and so on and so on, right? But when I took this course, I took it the same way, like this. I took it over 10 years ago. And at that time, I was only 23 years old. I had time to study. I was much more disciplined. So I watch the recordings and I study 5 days a week, every
Mhm.
single day, and I had to be very disciplined. Okay. And also I had the time to do it. And I gave up a lot of stuff so I could study. So are there people who does that? They do that route by watching the videos and do it? Yes. They finish the course in like 2 to 3 months. Okay. They don't do the course in
Mhm.
6 months. So there are people like that, but they're very disciplined. Okay. They follow
Mhm.
up, they attend all the chats, they communicate with the instructors, with the other classmates. They're very disciplined. So I only recommend it to people that are, I'm not trying to say you're not serious, but who are extremely focused and diligent, and determined. Okay. Um, because those are the individuals who are usually successful doing it by watching the videos.
Right, but there's a way, like if I chose to just watch the video recorded later on after my work done, that's possible, right?
Yeah. So there's two ways of taking this course. You can take it down our scheduled path, which is you
Mm-hmm.
attend every weekend the live classes. The other way is a self-paced class where the recordings are available to you, and we'll tell you which videos to watch in which order, and
Mm-hmm.
you just go ahead and watch the videos and follow up on a weekly basis. And you would attend the batch of a previous one that's already learning what you're learning, so you wouldn't be attending the new batch.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Who had a question?
Okay. So you said we need to practice after the classes. Will you give us like a way to practice? Like, I know I didn't start, so I don't know what's going on yet.
No, yeah, I'll go over that. But yes, there are assignments and homeworks that you'll get, and you'll need to practice. But the main thing is that, uh, you know, in class we showed you, hey, this is how you do this function, or you take these steps to have XYZ happen, right? So you need to practice throughout the week those steps until you are able to communicate those steps without looking at it, and you're able to do those steps without looking at it.
So, and the practice will be automatic or automated or manual? I guess it's automated since it's online.
I don't know what automatic or manual means. So
Because I heard testing is automatic and
it's automation. Yes, I'll explain that a little more so you understand what the difference are.
Okay, but you give us all the tools we need to practice.
Correct.
Great, thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have questions. Do you guys have any classes in person around New York?
No, not in New York. Sorry, no.
Okay, this is my question. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Okay. So every one of our courses, they have their own time. The QA course is 48 to 52 sessions long. It's a 6-month course. Okay. The sessions, they happen every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. They are 5 hours each. Okay. So you're gonna get about 48 to 52 5-hour sessions. Now it's not an exact number, because based on the pace of the class, we may have more sessions, so that they understand. Let's say the class is behind, they're not understanding, so we may have additional sessions to help them progress through this. Okay. There are also weeknight sessions that happen. They're usually voted by you guys when you want to have it, but they usually run from 8 to 10 p.m. Okay. You can take 2 trial sessions for free. No commitment, no questions asked. You come in, you try us out, see if we're a good fit for you or not. If you are, great, you can convert to a full-time paid student. If not, then you can just say bye, and there's no commitment on your end. You didn't sign any contract or anything. You're not allowed to pay for anything. We also provide one-on-one sessions as needed. So based on your progress, based on your individual needs, we'll also have one-on-one sessions. And when I mean we, there are multiple instructors. You'll be able to get with them and based on your needs, an instructor will be assigned to you. Okay. Now, the first thing you're going to learn is Computer 101. These are kind of the basic parts and components of a computer. You're going to learn what hardwares are, softwares are, how to work with integration, do some light scripting using HTML, use the command prompt, learn how binary and hexadecimal systems work. So it's about 2 classes, only about 10 hours of classes. It kind of has nothing to do with your job or what you're going to do at the workplace. This is more like you understanding technology, okay? And you know what all the pieces are, what involves technology. Once that's done, we're going to go to the theoretical side of this course, and it's about 8 classes, about 40 hours of classes, okay? This is where you're going to learn what the software development industry is about, what your role is going to be at work, what are going to be the roles of your coworkers and teammates. You're going to learn basic definitions of terminologies that you need to use, project management approaches, the tools and documents you're going to work with. And then you're going to learn how to do manual testing, okay? How do you test an application, right? Well, how do you test an application? It's going to be based on what the application does, right? So let's say that, you know, I'm working an application that has to do with applying for a loan, let's say, right? Well, what's involved? So if I go to, let's say, Chase.com, Chase has the option to apply for a loan. So you would open a browser, type in Chase.com, go to the section that's to do with apply for a loan, click on it, and then fill out the information that's there. There's going to be something asking for your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your social security address, and etc. And after you fill out that information, you're going to hit next and see if that worked or not. You're going to submit your application and see if it took your application or not. That's you manually testing it. You literally going into the application and doing what it needs to be to test it, okay? Or to test the login feature. Well, how do you test to see if the login feature works? Well, you enter a valid login, you enter a valid password, you click on the login button. And if it lets you in, it worked. If it doesn't let you in, then it didn't work, right? That's you testing an application. That's how you're testing it manually. Obviously, there's more into that and certain formal steps that you need to take, and that'll be part of your course. But manually testing is basically you taking the keyboard, taking the mouse, going into the application, and making sure that the feature that the application has works, okay? So just for something for you guys to relate to, let's say, you guys all do online banking, right? That's an application. Every bank has its own online banking application. You go to their portal, Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, etc. You log into your account, and you can see your balance, either for your checking account, your savings account, your credit cards, and etc. That's something you test by clicking on certain buttons and typing in certain data points and getting you to that point where you can see if it works or not. Okay? Any questions so far, guys? Okay, cool.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like in 1 week, how many hours we for the course? Like 10 hours?
Every class is 5 hours long. So every weekend you'll have 2 classes. So it'll be 10 hours of classes every weekend.
Okay, God, thank you.
So like on this topic, it'll be for 1 month, right? A month of training on this topic. 40 hours, 8 classes. Okay, any other questions, guys, before I continue? Okay. So then once the theoretical side is done, things are going to get more hands-on and practical and a little more technical. So you're going to learn how to do data validation using an application called learning a language query called SQL. So you're going to learn how to write SQL syntaxes and access databases and do data validation. Okay, and this is where things get a little more technical. And again, this is not as important in the job market as everything else. It's only about 6 classes, 30 hours. Okay, it's kind of more basic stuff, nothing too crazy. You're not trying to become a database developer or anything. Okay, you're just gonna type in certain syntaxes, and the system will respond and tell you, hey, this is the data that we pulled based on what you wrote. Once that's done, the bulk of the course is focused on automation. Okay, so what is automation? Now, when I mentioned that, hey, when you test something manually, well, if you were to test a login feature, right, you would open a browser, let's say login feature for Facebook. You would go to facebook.com. You'd click on the text field that says login and type in the login. You'd click on the password field that says password and type in the password. And then you would click on the login button so it can log you into Facebook's homepage, right? That's you testing it manually. Well, automation is where instead of you doing all that work, instead of you clicking on the login text field, instead of you clicking on the password text field and typing it in, instead of you clicking on the login button to take you to the homepage, you tell the computer to do it for you. You tell the computer to type in the login in the login text field. You tell the computer to type in the password in the password text field. You tell the computer to go click on the login button so that Facebook can take you to the Facebook homepage. Okay, you tell the computer to do that, and that's automation. And the reason why that's important is because, you know, we're just talking about login features, right? Login feature, there's only about 3 steps. Clicking on the login text field, clicking on the password text field, and clicking on the login button, right? There's only a few number of steps, but these application softwares are really big, right? And let's say if you were to apply for a loan, well, loan application form has many fields, asks different types of information about you. Those information can vary based on what you enter. Different things can happen, and you doing all that work step by step, one by one, over and over again, can take forever. So this is where you tell the computer to do it for you, so the results can come back and happen in maybe hours. Okay, so that's what automation is. And now, in order to tell the computer to do something for you, the computer doesn't understand English, right? The computer understands programming languages. So we're going to train you on learning how to do Java, okay? And it's core Java, basic Java, so you don't need to know how to do Java development. So you're really not going to do programming in Java, you're going to do scripting in Java, okay? And once you learn the basics of Java, which is about 40% of what a Java developer would need to know, once you learn all that, you're going to learn how to use a tool called Selenium, okay? And that's an automation tool. So you're going to use Java, which is the programming language, with the tool called Selenium in order to tell the computer to test for you, okay? And the bulk of this course, guys, is here. So out of the 48 to 52 classes, 32 classes are learning Java Selenium, okay? 160 out of this course is on Java Selenium. All right. Any questions so far, guys?
Sorry, what's the difference between programming and scripting?
Yeah, good question. So programming is where you are building with it. Okay, you're developing with it. Okay, scripting, think of it where you're more communicating with it. All right, you're not building anything. You're commanding. You're telling the computer to do something. So it's a lighter version of programming.
So programming is already designed and scripting just testing the design?
Not well, so programming is used to make something, okay? For creation, okay? Scripting, it's more command-based, okay? So it's for communication.
And they use the same way, I don't know.
So scripting is more of a basic way of doing programming. So let's say if you want to be a programmer, you would know how to do scripting and programming, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you do scripting only, then you don't know how to do programming, you just know how to do scripting.
Can you give me an example about scripting? Because I didn't get it, like in IT way.
Well, in the IT way, it's going to be too complicated. So I'm trying to figure out a much easier way, okay? Let me see. Okay, so when you see a web page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the code that went into that web page, that's programming. Okay, for you to interact with that web page, that's programming. Okay, now scripting, it looked the same, the way you would have programmed something, but it's more of a function. Okay, it's telling the computer to do something for you. Okay, instead of developing something, it's executing something.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay, so it's already developed, so you are going to.
You're interacting with it.
Okay. Okay, I think I get 50% or 60%.
It makes more sense when you take the class.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead. Who wants to go?
So how much Java we need to learn? I mean, you said it's Java and Selenium, right? So up to what level we learn Java?
So, like I said, you're learning up to scripting level, which means you're going to learn about 40% of what a Java developer does. Okay. So on Java, you'll take about 10 classes. All right.
Okay.
So about 50 hours to 60 hours of classes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I have heard like Java is very tough. So being from a non-IT background, is it difficult for us to learn Java?
Good question. And yes, Java is the hardest language to learn. Okay. And we purposely still teach Java. So the reason why we teach Java is because most other languages, so there's like Python, C# and etc. Those are easier to learn. Okay. But Java is harder. But the main reason we teach Java still is because those other languages root from Java. So that means if you go to the job market, right, and you're doing your interviews, and they're using in that company, they're using Python. They're not using Java. But they see that you know Java, they know that you can learn Python in a week or 2 weeks. Okay, because if you know how to do Java, you know how to do Python. You'll know how to do Python easily. Because Python roots from Java. Okay, because Java is a core language. So that's the reason we teach Java. And now, as far as your concerns about, is it going to be hard for somebody who's from non-IT background? Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a challenge. But I think the way our Java program is designed, it's meant to baby you. I don't think there's anybody else that spends, 60 hours on Java to train you in Java, but we do. So we'll be babying you throughout the whole process, so that as long as you're practicing, it'll get in your head.
Sorry, yeah, I was going to ask you a question, but you answered for half of it. So
Okay,
I was
what's the
going
other
to
half?
ask you why Java. Yeah, I was going to ask you why. Like I know there is many programming language.
Mhm.
So I was about to ask you why Java and Selenium particularly. So Java, I see why not, but how about Selenium?
Oh, so Selenium, the main reason we use Selenium is because it's an open source tool, which means it's free. And most companies are using Selenium because it's free. Because a lot of automation applications cost a lot of money. I would say about 10 years ago, they were mostly like automation applications made by big companies like HP, and they cost millions of dollars a year. Versus Selenium, it's open source, which means it's free for everybody. Anybody can build it. It's easy to use. So that and the fact that you can use multiple languages with it, so means that it's flexible. So like if you can go apply for a job, and they may be using Python and Selenium, or they may be using C# and Selenium, or JavaScript and Selenium, or Java and Selenium. So that adaptability and flexibility, it makes it very likable for most companies.
Interesting. Thanks.
So there's a cost around it, and also the flexibility side.
I have one question regarding the assignments that will be given to us in the class.
Mhm.
So, how frequently we will be given the assignments, and when will be the due for those assignments? And based on your past experience from the students, what would be the tentative hours that will be required to complete those assignments?
So the last question, I'll get to it later. But as far as assignment go, it depends on whose class you're taking. So like for my classes, the ones that I train on, I don't give an assignment for every class. I usually combine them, or I'll give you something that's unrelated, just to test your capabilities. But most instructors give an assignment per class, per topic, and there are multiple ways of submitting them. It could be a written assignment. It could be where you do a certain task and you have to record it and submit it in the chat rooms. And I'll show you how that works in a bit. But that's how the assignments work. Okay. As far as time, I'll talk about that in the next slide. Okay. Well, next slides. Cool. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Cool. So once you're done with the course, we will assess you. We'll look at your strengths and weaknesses and see if you are capable of nailing a job or not. If we see that you are capable of nailing a job, we'll help you build your resume, prep you with mock interviews, assist you in a job search, provide you with your reference or job verification that you need. And obviously, if you do nail a job, we'll give you job support as well. Okay. Now, when we're looking at your strengths and weaknesses, we're looking at certain things. Okay. We're trying to see if you meet a certain threshold, and that threshold includes, certain attributes that, hey, what technical skills that you know, basically the stuff that you learn in class, the theoretical skills that you know, the things that you learn in class. How's your personality? That's kind of on you, right? How is your communication skill? And you may be weak today, but as you're participating more and doing group studies and etc., that may get better. And the last thing is we look at is your attitude. Okay. Now, based on those 5 attributes, we gauge you, and if we see that you meet a certain level, maybe I'll say 7 out of 10 in total average, then you're good to go to the job market. Okay. So we say threshold because you could be let's say 9 out of 10 technically, but your communication is 4 out of 10, right? So you're kind of weak communication-wise. Well, that's okay. Your technical knowledge and skills make up for your weakness in communication. Or it could be vice versa. Your technical skills could be 5 out of 10, and your communication skills 10 out of 10, right? So that communication skill makes up for your weakness in your technical skills. So we again, we're trying to market you, right? So we're trying to make you into a candidate who can get a job. So all these attributes apply in helping you doing well in an interview and nailing that job. All right. Okay. Now, how to succeed in this program? I think this is the most important part here. The main thing is commitment to the program, and the reason behind that is that this course, it's not rocket science. The things that you're gonna learn. Okay, you don't need you don't need to be a genius. You need to have some kind of inherent talent. Okay. Whatever you're going to learn, a monkey could do it. And what I mean by that is if you ever heard the term monkey see, monkey do, this is exactly what it is. Okay. The instructors are going to bring into the classroom every weekend what they do in the job place. And it's going to be your job to literally copy and paste what they're doing, to mimic them. Okay. And now, because you need to mimic them, you have to understand that they're bringing in 10 years of information, and you need to learn that 10 years of information in 6 months, right? Which requires a lot of practice, a lot of your time, okay? So you're gonna need to make this one of the top 3 priorities in your life. And I'll tell you right now, if you can't make this into one of the top 3 priorities in your life, this course isn't for you. You're not gonna do well in this course, okay? Basically, you need to wake up to this, you need to sleep to this, you need to eat to this. Everything around your life for the next 6 months or so has to be around this, all right? And as far as allocation goes, okay, you need to be able to put in a certain amount of hours every single day, all right? So now, I don't know what your study habits are. I don't know how what's the word, diligent you are, how disciplined you are. But the way I would usually look at it is that if you were a B plus and higher student, okay, you need to put in about 1 to 2 hours a day for the next 6 months every day. Okay, if you're under B plus, you need to put in about 3 to 5 hours a day every day for the next 6 months. Okay, now just a quick disclaimer, I was an A student, but I don't do well studying. I'm not disciplined at all. I have high levels of ADHD and I get distracted easily. So when I took this course, okay, in 2011, I needed to put in about 6 hours a day because that's me. I don't do well practicing and studying. All right. So you guys need to, I can't answer to you exactly how many hours you need to put in. Based on who you are, it's going to be, case by case basis by each individual. Based on that, you need to allocate some time. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't have time, if you're busy right now, if you have 10 other priorities that are more important than this, I wouldn't recommend taking this course. Okay. You need to be able to put in the time. If you don't, you won't be successful. All right. You need to know how to take good notes. This is really important. And obviously, we'll train you and show you how to take notes as you take in the class. But this is one of the most important things out there. You're going to create group study sessions. You're going to get together either remotely or in our training facilities, and you're going to study together. I think that's the best way to learn, by teaching each other. Okay. There are going to be exams. Okay. There's going to be 2 midterms and 2 finals. The midterm, we don't really hold it against you. The finals, we do. Okay. And when I say 2, 1 is written and 1 is multiple choice. All right. And then you need to create a project from scratch. Again, what I mean by from scratch right now makes no sense, but when you're taking the course, you're going to create a automation framework from scratch, and you're going to test it against our dummy application and show us that it works or not. Okay, and that is important. You will not be allowed to go to the job market unless you finish that. And then you need to know how to communicate effectively. Now, when I mean communicate effectively, I just don't mean, when we think about communication, we're all thinking about talking, and I think that's the first part of it. But the second part, which is also as important, is you need to know how to listen properly. Okay, when I'm talking to you or one of the other instructors is talking to you, do you understand the words that are coming out of their mouth? I just quoted Rush Hour, but you need to understand what's coming out of each individual's mouth. Are you able to understand it? And do you have a follow-up for what was said? Okay, that's going to either benefit you. All right, that's kind of the communication part that you need to make sure that you're enhancing, the way you talk and the way you listen. All right. Any questions so far, guys? I'm going to take that as no question. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, course requirements, guys. 2 things before I go into what this is. The other course requirements are, we prefer you're over 18, preferably 21 and older. Okay. No felonies on your record. Preferably no misdemeanors as well, but if you have a misdemeanor, it's fine. We can work around it. You need to be eligible to work in the United States. Means that you need to either have a U.S. citizenship, a green card, some kind of work permit. If you don't, our company also does sponsorship. You need to call the office and ask them about that. All right. You do need a laptop or desktop. Now, you don't need to go and buy a laptop or desktop today. Whatever you have today will work the first 2 months. On the 3rd month, or the 2.5 months later, when Java is starting, that's when you'll need a computer. Okay. And if it's a computer that you already bought, you have, and it's 2020 and newer, then an i5 with 8 gigs of RAM is good. If it's older than 2020, so 2019 and older, then we want to make sure it's an i7 with 16 gigs of RAM. All right. And again, you don't need this today or tomorrow or 2 months from now. You need it about 2.5 months from now when we start doing Java. Okay. If you take this class remotely, you do need internet connection. Okay. Make sure you have a smartphone as well, because there's certain apps that you can download. There's going to be corporate level software tools, which we will provide to you guys. All right. your dedicated time, which is really important, all right? Like I said, you need to commit to this, make this one of the top 3 priorities in your life. And please, if you're taking this course remotely, make sure you're in a quiet room. Again, if you're not in a quiet room, it doesn't bother us. We can just meet you. We'll never hear from you again. So the world's not over for us. But it could be a detriment to you because you don't want your cat in the room, your dog in the room, your spouse in the room, your kids in the room or whatnot, because they will distract you, okay? It's really easy to fall off from that 5-hour session if you're paying attention to something else, all right? And you can have a Mac, but we don't support it. What that means is that, let's say you're running into an issue and you don't know how to resolve it, we can't really help you, okay? We'll try, but there are no guarantees. Again, I wouldn't, if you do already have a good Mac, I wouldn't go and invest on a new computer. You can use the Mac. It's just a little more challenging, meaning that you need to be a little more resourceful. You need to Google and do certain configuration changes to make sure that your Mac is synced with the instructor's PC properly, okay? And again, I don't think that's bad. I think that's something good because it'll challenge you on, how to be more flexible, how to be more tech savvy, and etc. All right. Any questions so far, guys? Okay, no questions. I don't know if that's good or bad, but okay. All right, I'll keep going. So end game, guys. Get the in-demand market skills you need to get a job in this field. Build relationships with us. We ourselves are a staffing company. We mostly place Scrum Masters and Java developers. So we'll also be looking for a QA job for you. We also work with third-party recruiters that'll look for a job for you. At the same time, you'll be applying for jobs, and there'll be, alumni and other individuals referring you and helping you as well. Okay, get a rewarding, successful career. I would say that IT is one of the most lax jobs out there compared to any other job field. The amount of effort that you put in and the return you get, the gap is astronomical in your favor. Okay, so you're putting in little work, getting a lot more money in return, and fulfilling the American dream, which means making money. So hopefully that's why most of you guys are here for financial stability, to go from making maybe $10, $20 an hour to $40, $50, $60 an hour. Okay. When I took this course, I can tell you I was 22 years old, and my main initiative was the money. Okay. That's all I cared about. Now let's talk about the payment plan. Now each course has its own and different payment plan. Okay. The cost of our course is $12,000 for the QA course. All right, but you're not paying $12,000. Okay. The way it works is there are 2 types of fees. There's the enrollment fee and the tuition fee. Okay. The enrollment fee is what you pay upfront. Okay. This fee you need to pay upfront. So that $2,000, you'll pay it upfront. And what it does is it gives you access to our platform, our chats, our classes for 1 year. Okay. So that means that, let's say you take the class today and you didn't do so well, you need to retake it again. You can take it again with no extra fees or no extra cost within that 1 year time span, as many times as you need. All right. And you have 2 ways of paying that enrollment fee. You can either pay monthly. Say, as you're taking the course every month, you can pay $500 a month for 4 months, or you could pay it as a one-time fee, which will be $1,500. So you'll get a $500 discount. All right. Now this is your enrollment fee, and then there's the tuition fee. The tuition fee is the cost of the course. Okay. The amount of hours we gave you, the amount of sessions that you took. So there's about 250 hours of class time, and then weeknight time and the mentorship and one-on-one. So you get about 350 hours from us. Okay. And that 350 hours cost for that is $10,000. All right. And again, you are not going to pay for this unless you get a job. Okay. Let me rephrase. Unless you get an IT job. All right. So only when you get an IT job, you're liable to pay for this 10,000. So let's say you took this course, right? You paid your enrollment fee, you took the course, and you never got a job. You do not pay $10,000. You're not liable to pay this. Okay? If you do get an IT job, then you're liable to pay for it. So what you're signing up for is called an ISA, which is an income shared agreement. What that means is that your tuition fee is waived based on the condition of you getting employed. Okay? So if you get employed, let me rephrase, if you get employed in an IT job, then you will pay $10,000. If you never get employed in an IT job, you will not pay $10,000. So that means that if you become a doctor after taking this course, you're not liable to pay this amount. If you become a lawyer, you're not liable to pay this amount. If you become an accountant, you're not liable to pay this amount. If you never get an IT job, you're not liable to pay this. Okay? Now, if you do get a job, once you nail your interview and you get a job, then you will pay $10,000. And again, you won't pay it upfront, $10,000. You'll pay this $10,000 in monthly installments. Okay? So you're going to pay it in 8 installments, which is about $1,250 a month. So every month you'll pay $1,250 for 8 months. Okay? Now this is where we say why job support is important, why we give job support, no questions asked. Because you sign an ISA, which is an income shared agreement, you're only liable to pay your balance if you're employed. So that means, let's say you worked for 3 months. You finished this course, you worked for 3 months, you paid 3 of your $10,000 installments. There's 5 left. And you lost your job because of performance, or you had to leave because of family emergency, or you got laid off, whatever the reason, you're not working, you're not getting a check deposited into your bank account. We put a hold on your payment. We help you find another job. And once you find another job, we resume completing your balance, which is the 5 installments that are left on your balance. All right. So that's why we make sure we give you unlimited, no question, job support, because we don't want you to lose your job. Because if you do lose your job, we have to put a hold on your payment, because that's the agreement that we signed. All right. Now,
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the classes for 6 months is $1,005.
Well, that's the enrollment fee, right? The enrollment fee is $2,000.
Okay, so what about the classes? How much is it? Like the 6 months. For the 6 months.
The cost of the class is $10,000, but you only pay for it if you get employed.
So I'm gonna pay $1,005 for classes, and if I'm gonna find a job, I'm gonna pay $10,000 more, right?
If you get a job, not final. If you get a job, yes.
So if I'm gonna get a job by myself, I'm gonna pay $10,000 for you, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so the classes, it's $1,005 for 6 months, correct?
So I mean, it is, but that's the registration fee. Okay.
This is the registration fee?
Yes.
What about the classes? How much is it?
It's $10,000, but you only pay for it if you get employed.
It says on the top, total cost 12,000, and it's divided in 2. 2,000 for the beginning, you save 500 if you pay 1,500, and the rest, which is $10,000, you're gonna pay after you get the job. Or if you pay everything, pay 8,800, and you are good.
Oh yeah, or you could do it this way.
yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Then you get a discount. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna be with you guys and I didn't get a job, I'm gonna pay $1,005, right? And if I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna pay $10,000 extra, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So only IT job. Okay,
How
guys.
much do you take from our paychecks every month?
We don't take anything from your paychecks. You'll only be liable to pay your tuition balance, which is $1,250 a month for 8 months.
Okay.
Which is $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't take anything from your paychecks. Even if you work from us for us, we don't. We only take what's taxed.
Great.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so for every QA jobs in market right now, whatever I have searched, for every QA jobs, they are asking for 4 to 5 years of experience, right? So without any experience, they
You kind of cut off, but I'm going to answer that question, which is that yeah, we're gonna have to market you in a way where you're sellable. Okay, what that means is that yeah, you're gonna have to put us, we're gonna have to exaggerate your experience a bit, but well, a lot. Okay, so we'll be
so you
exaggerating
will provide some experience like this stuffs, right?
whatever is needed for you to nail a job. Yes.
Okay. And I have one more question, like what happens if I will not get a job after this for entire 1 year, and after first year, maybe in second year I will get a job. So still I have to pay that 10,000 K, right?
Yes.
So, and if I will get a job from some other source, not with TechFios, so still I have to pay this 10K, right?
Yep. Because we're training you to get the job. Okay.
So one more silly question. Maybe.
No, it's not silly. Go ahead. You're good.
Yeah. So how you guys will get to know that okay, I got a job in IT?
It's easy. I mean, you're gonna submit all your documents. We can do a background check on you. That's it.
It feels like he doesn't want to pay the 10,000.
That's not hard.
So
I'm gonna
pretty
get a
much
job by
curious
cash.
about it, like how you guys will get to know. So I just asked.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be submitting your forms, your applications. You're gonna fill it out. We're gonna have all your information midway through, and if the course is over and we don't hear from you, and we do a run a background check on you and see you're collecting money from somewhere, you'll get an invoice sent to you.
FBI.
So one more question. Sorry, I'm asking.
No, go ahead.
And so I can apply within the course duration, or should I need to wait until the completion of course?
Oh no, you can apply anytime. So let me show you guys how that works. So everything gets done through our website, which is techfiles.com. Okay. So if you see the top left-hand side, there's something called registration. Click on that. That's where you'll see the types of training that we offer. So let's pick QA, which is this one, and hit sign up. And if you want to take a free trial, you should sign up with a free trial. Again, if you're not a referral or you found us online, you heard us on the radio, I recommend start with a free trial. Or if you're not, even if you're somebody referred you and you're not sure, just do the free trial. And once that's done, the trial is done, you have the option to pick one of these. Or you could just start off by picking one of these and signing up if you know for sure you're going to do it. The difference between all these plans and the 8,000 one is if you'll save $2,700, and also, we'll give you 24/7 support. It means that, for the rest of, for the next 2 years, if you need it, we'll help you every single day. We'll, give you, any time slot you need to study and get your, help that you need to be able to successfully get a job. Okay. And just a couple other things before we continue is that everything gets done through our portal. So you would log in, okay, by clicking on the student portal, all right, which is here. I'm an instructor, so let me click on that. You guys have different view than me, but you'll have a calendar to tell you when your classes are, and etc. You'll see a list of classes. To see a video of a class or to join a class, you click on the Join Now button. To see the video of a class, you hit the Content button, and you hit, let me go to the class, older one, December, the batch that you're in, and let's say you want to see a recording, click on that, and on the top, bottom right, you'll see a video link, and if you click on it, it'll take you to the class, and
so
you can watch
yes, browsers are built on different configurations, right? They behave differently, right? Usually it's kind of standardized, but there are some exceptions, right?
Okay, so that's how you would watch a recording, okay? And then the other part that's important, and there's a lot of other stuff that are important, but one of the other key factors are there's a chat. You click on that, you log in with your account. And this is where you'll be broken into batches, okay? Your batch will be February, and every class has their own batch. Mainly, this place is for communication purposes. So any questions that you have from an academic perspective, where you did something, you wrote a script, or you try to install something and you need help, everything is done through here, okay? And this, again, everybody's here. Like, for instance, the July batch. So there's about 147 members. So that includes the students, the instructors, the administration team, and again, anything you need that has to do with from an academic side. Hey, I wrote the script, it doesn't work. You're gonna take a screenshot of that, post it here. Somebody's gonna get to you. Either the instructor is, another classmate is, and etc. Okay, everybody's available to you. Okay.
What is mentorship, and why we don't have it with if we pay the 1,500?
Let's look at that. Let me see. I'm not sure myself.
24/7 mentorship. That means if we need help, we can just contact you, right?
Yeah. So the difference between that, what the 24/7 means, okay, versus the other things is that the way we communicate and help you is through here. Obviously, we're here 24/7, but I'm saying if you pay your tuition fee up front, that means that if you need to, that means you're only available to study at 4 a.m. every morning, and you need an hour session every day for the next 6 months. We'll be there for you at 4 a.m. for an hour for the next 6 months. Okay, that's the difference.
You're gonna get invested. More invested.
Means you're VIP. Okay.
Got it. So we still get the mentorship.
Yeah, you still get the mentorship. It's just not
at a certain hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
When we're all awake hour, which is usually from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Okay?
Yeah, if we're gonna work that much hours, we need to sleep too.
Yeah.
Need to recover.
So generally, how many students will be there in one batch?
Usually there's about 50. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
I have a
when is your class is going to be started?
You need to verify with the office, but I believe it's
February 11.
February.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any idea about the next session?
Yeah, the next one would be on March, probably March 11th or 18th. So every 4 to 6 weeks we start a new batch.
Okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, after we finish the classes, are you guys helping the student to find a job?
Yes, of course we are. Because we only get paid when you get a job. So
yeah, of course. And you're doing everything. You're doing like resume and
help build your resume. We're gonna look for jobs for you. You're gonna look for jobs as well.
Okay.
Our goal is to get an interview and for you to pass that interview.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, so you are, doing the courses very frequently. So, is there any percentage of how many students got a job from the previous group or previous class?
Good question. So there are two pieces to this, okay? One is a graduation rate and one is a placement rate, okay? Our graduation rate means that people who finishes this course on a timely manner. So the first time they come in and in the first 6 months took this, how many people finished the first 6 months? The rate on that is around 30 to 40%, okay? Depending on batch. Usually average at 40%. Now, again, 40% sounds bad, but American college graduation rate is at 56%, so we're not that bad, okay? Now the people, the 40% that does finish the course, right? Them finding a job is around 90%. And again, the main reason that most people drop out or don't finish the course on the first try, the 60% dropout rate, is usually because they don't have time to study. Okay, so if you look at us online, if you look at us, our reviews, our Google reviews, anything on Facebook, majority people don't complain because we're pretty upfront on the commitment side. So a lot of the people who drop out, they either try to take it a second time or a third time. I had one student, he took the course like 8 times. Okay, and we don't charge extra as long as you're gonna finish and you're gonna get a job. That's what we're aiming for. Um, so that individual 8 times to have him be successful. Okay, he used to be a truck driver and he didn't study well. Um, Mainly because he was smoking pot all the time. But once he because his sister got a job, and she made him like stop doing truck driving, no more smoking, just stuck in his room and study every day, all day long, and he finally was able to pull it off. Took him over a year.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If after doing testing, I succeed on it and I found a job and my boss is happy and I am happy, I know I want to do web developer.
Mhm.
Is it like, should I like, is it like a way to be a web developer without going to school again, or we have to do it because there
So
is
most people, they come back here and take our Java development course. So, but yeah, I mean, once you get your foot in the door, you have the option to be a lot of things. You can go into the development route, you go to the DevOps route, you go to the architect route, you can go to the project management route. There are a lot of options for you. It's something that there'll be a lot of self-learning involved. The company will pay for you to learn, but it's kind of up to you. Your possibilities are endless because you can go any direction you want at that point.
I want to go to biotechnology.
I don't even know what that is.
Making the companies that make medicines, that create vaccines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see. But don't you need a medical degree for that?
No.
Okay, then I don't know. I mean, yeah, then it's available for you.
So there is, you say, if I have to go back to do a training for that. It's not something I can learn by myself.
No, you can. Yeah, there's self-learning. You'll be able to do it either by self-learning, or if you need extra help, you can take it through other,
Okay,
training.
so then I register again to web developer and do the classes and everything, right?
If you plan on doing that. If you're alumni, you get 50% off next time.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, our alumni get 50% off on any other additional courses.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can start to register for the February 11th?
Oh, you can register anytime. You go ahead and register now, and they'll set you up for the February 11th batch, and they'll reach out to you when they activate your account, and they'll send you an email and a text message and everything.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions, guys?
Are you helping people? Are you helping a student to find a job like in every state in the United States, or only like in Texas about job?
So it all depends. Right now there are a lot of remote jobs out there. I'll say about 70 to 80% of the jobs are still remote. But obviously the places that have jobs are usually the bigger cities, right? Like in Texas.
Yeah, like me, I live in Jersey City. I'm like 10 minutes from the New York. Like, you can help me to find a job here, or
New York is fine. Yeah, New York has a lot of jobs. So, like New York has jobs, Dallas has jobs, Austin has jobs. Most of California has jobs. So it all kind of depends on where.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, guys?
I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Like someone doesn't have like experience from IT, do you think like 6 months it's enough to be like a good on IT, like in QA testing?
Yeah, you'll be fine. Our programs are designed for beginners. 6 months is enough as long as you study, like I mentioned.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Okay. So if no other questions, thank you so much, everybody. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys soon. I won't be there on the first 2 classes, but on 3rd class and so on, I'll be teaching most of them. I also teach the business analyst course. If you're interested in that, you're more than welcome to look into it. That one is for more advanced level individuals, so make sure, you know, I wouldn't want a beginner for that one. Other than that, everybody, have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.